How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days does so many things wrong. Okay, there's so many things wrong in this movie. It might just be because I've already watched a lot of rom-com movies, and that might be the problem. Because this movie is really old, so it might have done it first. But I've seen so many rom-com movies, and this falls into, it sort of takes chunks from various other movies. Now, I will give it the benefit of the doubt that maybe it's the one to do it the first, right? Like it's the first, because it's a really old movie. But there's so many things about the movie that I've seen, and I just went, meh. There was not a single scene that made me go, like, that gave me that, that satisfying feeling of watching a rom-com. It just did not. Like, sure, there was chemistry between the cast members, but it was just meh again. So talking about what the movie is about, it's just this girl wants to write a magazine, and her boss forces her to write a magazine about how to lose a guy in 10 days. She writes a lot of how-to magazines, and that's what she has to do. And the lead male, which is Matthew McConaughey, I think that's what his name is. He works for advertising, right? So he wants to get a gig in advertising at Diamond, but the boss says that it's very dumb. The boss says that there's two other girls who sort of make him do a bet that he can't make a girl fall in love with him. So the boss is like, if you can make any girl fall in love with you in 10 days, I'll give you the advertising gig. Like, you can take charge of the Diamond advertising. So the girl has to do a magazine on how to lose a guy in 10 days, and the guy has to do how to make a girl fall in love in 10 days. So I think you're seeing what the problem here is. It just does not work. Like, there is no reason, literally no reason for both of them to commit this much to the gig. Like, this guy could have just, for the guy, maybe like he's taken the bet in front of like 3-4 people and he has to do it, so I get the guy's side. But the girl, she has zero, like, she has no reason to actually commit to making a guy, like, hanging out with a guy and trying to lose him up for 10 days. It just does not make sense. Like, I don't know what is she writing. I don't know what was the writing criteria back in the day, in the 90s, but I think she could have just faked it. There was no reason for her to try and lose this guy in 10 days and come up with the writing material, right? She just writes magazines. She's not writing like some best-selling novel or something. But okay, fine, that's the premise. If that's what they wanted to go for, that's the name of the movie, so I'll give it the pass, even though I don't believe it could happen. Another thing the movie does wrong is, obviously these two don't like each other. They're just playing the game, they're pretending to like each other, like it happens in a lot of rom-coms. So I was wondering, what are they gonna use to, what is gonna be that one moment where, someone falls in love or they fall in love? What's the element that they're gonna use? The catalyst, basically. Well, here that's another disappointment. They use family, right? The girl goes to the guy's hometown family place, and she realizes that she's the first girl he's brought home, and she starts to have feelings for him. That's I've seen that in so many movies. I had a problem with that. I did not buy it. Like, she has no reason to like the guy, and she just meets the family, and boom. As soon as they were going to the family part, I knew where this was going. So that's where the movie took a downside, in my opinion. And the guy, when does he start falling in love? I have no idea. Like, why does Matthew fall in love with her in the first? They never explain why. Like, she literally acts like the most annoying girlfriend ever, and to a point where she looks like someone who should be in a mental hospital for the amount of weirdness she was bringing out in her character. She was playing the annoying girlfriend, but there was no reason for him to fall in love with her. That one of time she was just being annoying, and then she would switch characters randomly and be super nice, and Matthew would be like, oh, that's my girl. Like, he would never question why was she doing this or that throughout the film. Now, obviously in the end they do get to find out that this guy was doing the bet and she was writing the magazine, and the way they find out is also really stupid. Like, it just happens. Like, they just stumble across each other's friends and people, and they tell them. It just so conveniently happens at the same time that they both find out, and yeah, I just, and in the end they sing a song hating on each other. It's it's just not the best movie out there. There's just so many other good movies that do this, and this one is not it. I just did not feel it. I thought the acting was great. Some scenes were good, right? Like the board game in the family's place was actually quite like nostalgic to watch. You know, like you're sitting in the balcony while you can see the lake and all that. I like that. Also, another good thing about the movie is that it's in the 90s, obviously. If you know me, then you know I like movies that take place during that time. And in New York. New York and the 90s and early 2000s is just pure heaven to look at. I don't know why, I've never been there, but just seeing that place feels like home. I like the hustle and bustle and the cars and the smoke, the weird smokes that come at night, you know, from every corner of the street. I don't know what smoke is that, but I don't like that. Sorry for my cough. And is there anything else about the movie? No. It's overall, I did not like the movie much, but since it is a rom-com and it did get me to click on it, it already gets like a 7.5 easily, because, you know, I'm biased for a rom-com. But overall, the movie was just meh. Nothing big about it. Nothing it does differently. But maybe it did differently at the time if I watched this movie before all the other movies. But this doesn't do much. So yeah. Not a good Matthew McConaughey love rom-com movie. Not a good one. I kind of regret watching it. It's just it's very vanilla, you know? So yeah, thank you for watching this one. I'll see you in the next video.